FaceTime one.
Oh, yeah. So it's flipped.
Yes. We're live.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Can we
might be able to.
make this a little bit bigger? Yeah. We will be with you. We've only done a live once before.
Yep. New technology.
Well, not really
Sort of.
new. A little bit new to us, maybe.
New to us, yeah, I suppose. But it's definitely, I feel like we haven't used it in a while.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just going to turn my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Oh,
the
yes.
computer's also on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah. So we're not getting all of your messages.
Yeah.
You're a popular lady, so.
Not usually after business hours.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're probably fine. Oh, someone's saying hello from Muskoka, Ontario.
Oh, hello. Nice to see you.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
It's probably a good time of day there.
I know. I feel like it's a good, like 6 p.m. UK time, I feel like is a good time in general for the US.
Yes.
Because it's kind of, you can catch some people on their lunch breaks.
Yeah, and the West Coasters are pretty early morning still, like before breakfast.
Exactly, yeah.
And then, well, we're probably catching people for dinner here.
Yeah.
Or maybe they'll watch us while they're cooking.
Yes, exactly.
Ooh, tell us what you're cooking if you are. Let's introduce ourselves.
Yeah, so I'm so if you haven't seen us before, I'm Kaylee. And who am I? What am I? I am the shop assistant here at A Yarn Story.
I don't know, Kaylee, that's very existential
I
for
know.
a Thursday night.
Well, I gotta get philosophical on these things. And who are you?
I'm Carmen. I'm the owner of A Yarn Story, and we're here in the shop. And this, usually we record the podcast, but we have a very big, exciting pattern collection launch today. So we thought we'd do it live.
Yeah.
This is your idea.
Yes, it was my idea. And I think that's the thing is that we're so used to like setting up the camera and like having a recording and then we can do retakes.
Although we don't do a lot
we
of
don't
retakes.
Do a lot of retakes, actually.
We probably should, but we don't.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually take this down. One book.
Yeah.
I think that's a slightly better.
Yeah.
You get a little more of us.
Get a little bit more of the beautiful patterns.
Yeah. So welcome to A Yarn Story here in Bath, England. I know that might be confusing because neither of us sound British.
Well, we promise that we do have some Brits hiding away.
We do, yes.
They don't often. Some of them make an appearance on the podcast, but
but yeah, we are Americans here in England, and that might be confusing.
Yeah.
Okay, so this. Can you actually read that from this distance? What's coming up there?
What's coming up? So it looks like we've got, well, I've got my glasses on, my super special glasses that I just got. So we've got some folks saying hi from snowy Colorado.
Oh.
And Gulf, Ontario, Canada.
Oh.
Tennis is also saying, love the sweater pattern that Carmen is wearing. I have the yarn in petunia. So as well to make it.
The petunia.
Greetings from Texas from Renee.
Aw,
hello.
Hi, guys.
So yeah, feel free to put some comments or questions that you have in the chat as we go. We'll probably like talk through the collection, the inspiration behind it, how you kind of got the idea to do this in the first place with Erica.
Maybe.
And maybe you know a bit about Erica's background.
A little bit.
I'm just here for the ride.
Well, you're possibly here for, it is a celebration today.
Yes.
So I did go acquire a lovely bottle of Cava from our podcast sponsors and good friends, Wolf Wine. Angus got insanely excited about this bottle.
Really?
Today. And actually, I wrote down notes while he was talking. So
yes,
you can open
love it. Okay.
I'm going to mispronounce things, and I'm probably going to. I was trying to type while he was talking, and everything was getting like spelled.
Oh,
because they weren't like words or whatever.
Fair enough. But you can like write them down the way that you'd say them, right?
This is what I tried to do. So this is called. Oh, I didn't actually read the front.
It's called Mo. No, sorry.
We're doing well.
So if you look at the label, it looks like it just says Mo, but there's actually some little tiny writing here. So it's called Massia d'Or.
Yes.
Massia d'Or.
So it is made by the Virgili brothers, based. They are in the Cava heartland, 2 hours inland from Barcelona.
Ooh, I love it.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
They work organically, and they buy parcels of fruit from various growers in the area because they are wine makers.
Mm-hmm.
So the grapes in here are Chardonnay.
Ooh, I love Chardonnay.
Zarello. I might have miswritten that one down.
Okay.
Definitely mispronouncing it.
Uh-huh.
Paraleda.
Ooh, there we go.
And he wasn't sure, but something called Viura.
Viora?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I definitely didn't spell it right.
I know. I'm like, let me see that spelling.
And what he got, where he got really nerdy on us was they barrel ferment the Chardonnay portion at a hot temperature. So it has a bit of oxidation.
Ooh.
Which gives it a honey and toasted nut flavoring.
Okay.
And then it's an extended 24 months of lees aging in the bottle.
Lees aging?
Yeah, it's the part where it ages in the bottle or ferments in the bottle. So that is 24 months.
Okay.
But yeah, it's this barrel fermenting the Chardonnay.
Cool. Is it supposed to be really oaky? You said
toasted
smell oaky. So
honey and toasted nut flavoring.
Okay.
So
I like those things.
I like those things too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, didn't we say one episode that we were going to get proper prosecco glasses?
We were,
and then we didn't.
Well, the more delicate glasses we've broken a couple times in the basement kitchen as well. So I went for the sturdy.
People think that yarn is all soft, not gonna knock anything over, but the things that we do with yarn down there.
Well, not so much in the kitchen, but
Yeah.
Well, cheers.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, congratulations to the team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh. So we also say,
oh, that's nice.
We have somebody saying hello from Bray County, Wicklow.
Oh, see, making dinner. We would like to know what you're making.
Yes.
That is tasty.
It is really good. It's really drinkable.
Very drinkable. Yeah, this is...
I'd say it doesn't taste like a Cava I've ever had before.
No. Angus also said he's on a mission this year to make Cava a thing people like because it's massively underrated.
Yeah, exactly.
This is available from them. I was like, do you have this in stock? Because there have been a couple times where we've had a bottle of something
exactly
that they don't have any more of, and then people get mad at us.
Yeah.
This is available.
Good. And we're doing it live, so
we're doing it live.
Literally
you
just got it.
Go down there. I think they actually have a private party tonight from 7, but tomorrow you could go get it. If you're hearing about it.
Perfect. I love it.
They also wholesale it if you happen to, have a restaurant or something.
Cool.
Yeah. All right.
I feel like I need to do, this is a tangent. So there's lots of tangents on here if you haven't watched this before, but I feel like I need to do something for my wedding there. But I feel like I've also made this wedding 5 days. I feel like
well, yeah, but you have lots of family and friends coming over from really far. So I totally get that. Yeah. You feel like you want to spend the time with them. You want it to be worth their while.
Yeah.
I mean, the wedding itself is worth their while, but when you travel far, you want activities.
Yeah. I think we're also to after the wedding. I think my family's sticking around and we're doing something for my grandparents. I think.
Oh, nice.
Which they know about. So if they're watching this, then I don't think I'm spoiling anything.
Okay, good.
So maybe we'll get some wine or something from them.
Okay,
for that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they'll hook you up.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, someone's here from London, UK.
Yay! Pretty local. Somebody pretty local. Yeah. We love it.
Cool. Right. So we launched the signature collection by Erica Knight today, which
it's been a long time in the making, right?
It's, the thing about a pattern collection is the people behind the scenes, the people working on it have known about it. They've been developing it. They've been knitting it. They've been playing with colors. They've been talking about it. They've been living and breathing it for a really long time. And then by the time that happens, you're kind of over it. And then you have to tell everybody else about it. And they're not as into it as you are. Yeah. So you have to
But one thing that you have done, actually, I think, well, you've done loads of things really well, so it's not one thing. But one thing I want to talk about right now that you've done really well is actually keeping a lot of this secret from the team. Or like,
I don't know that was intentional.
No, not like secret in the bad way too. Like secret in you told us at the right time so we could get excited about it. Yeah. And so like in a way it was like we could relive the excitement again because you're sharing it with somebody else, and then you get to experience their excitement.
Yeah, I mean that's true. That does also help because you guys found out about things at key points.
Yeah,
and could be excited about that thing that was happening.
Yeah.
Instead of being in it. Like Beverly and I have been
exactly
seeing it for the whole time,
living it like as it was in production and stuff. And honestly too, one of the other things that it was so funny because when Carmen first told me that she was doing a collaboration with Eric Knight using Walcott yarn, I was like, oh, we're getting Eric Knight colors on Walcott yarn. And then like I don't know what it was, like when the penny dropped, I was like, oh wait, no, she's designing patterns.
She's designing patterns.
So I was like doubly excited.
I love it.
So I was like thrilled to hear about this.
I mean, I love that idea as well, because she doesn't have her own yarn.
Yeah, exactly.
And we have talked about colors, especially for Origin, because the palette is still much more condensed and smaller than Opus, say. Like Opus is a proper full rainbow. It's got
all the colors.
It's got, red through to purple.
Got the earthy tones.
Yeah, and sort of, lots of moods.
Yeah, definitely.
The brights and the sort of moodier bits. So that is quite a full palette.
Yeah, but you still have more.
Oh, there's always more colors. That's not a problem. But Origin is 18 colors.
Yeah.
So it is concise.
Yeah. And it tells a story.
Didn't I tell this to not ring? Why is that ringing? Okay. Yeah. So I guess I should tell the story.
Yeah.
Of how this all came to be.
I think so.
This all started actually back when Kieran still worked.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. So it has been going on for a long time.
Yes, it has.
I mean, Kieran does technically still.
Technically, nobody knows that.
No. Oh no, we just spilled the beans. Yeah. We gave we
deep dark secret. Yeah. Kieran still works here.
You can't, basically, if you work for Carmen, you can't ever like leave.
Not permanently, no. For those of you that don't know Kieran, he used to work in the shop and he used to run Walcott yarns for us, and then he moved to Cambridge. And then I made him come back as my very partial personal assistant, virtual assistant.
And wasn't it too? People used to think that you guys were a couple, and then like maybe you got divorced.
Yeah, there is definitely because we exhibited at a couple of events.
Yeah,
just him and I, and obviously, a tall man and a tall woman
I know.
Must be a couple.
Yeah.
Selling yarn together, which is not true.
Yeah.
But funny to both of us.
Yeah, it is pretty funny.
So that was, he's been in Cambridge 2 years now.
I feel like it's been longer, but maybe it just feels longer because I miss him.
I know, I'll miss him too. I miss you, Kieran. So it's it's over 2 years ago that we started the conversation with Erica Knight. And as these things happen, people have, design plans. We've got, there's stuff happening months in advance, right? You're planned out. So it takes a while sometimes to find the timing for it all. And we sort of missed each other a couple times. And then I think it was sort of end of 2023. They were like, okay, let's finally put a proper meeting in the books. Let's do this next year. And we finally got a meeting together and we talked about what we wanted to do. And we talked about all of the, all three of the yarns in the lines actually. And we decided that Origin was the way to go. Erica designed some beautiful garments and has done, and she loves color and she loved the story of Origin. So that is the one we went with.
Did she at any point think we could use all three yarns at one point, or was she kind of set, or were you set about one yarn to showcase through the collection?
We had sent samples of everything for her to like swatch with and play with and see what inspired her. She had shade cards, and Origin just spoke to her. We did say, I mean, if we want to mix it up, but she loved the colors. She loved how the palette worked together, and she really wanted to play with that. And she loved how Origin was knitting up. So that kind of the idea of using multiple yarns in the collection kind of faded away.
So would you say then that this is like quite like a designer-led collaboration in terms of like she led the design and the kind of story that she wanted to tell and worked with you on that?
Yes and no. I mean, Erica does her research. If there is anything I know about her, is she knows exactly who she's working with and what they are all about, and she chooses things carefully. Like she would bring things up in meetings, and I was like, "Did I say that? Did I write that somewhere?
Like, where is this info?"
And she was like referencing some newsletter, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." Knew more about me than I did. So yes and no. Like she understood why the yarn was made and like the story behind that. And she really liked our general sort of aesthetic of a yarn story and what I've been doing with the brand over the years. And so she just wanted to like help showcase that. And we talked about what kind of pieces we wanted for the collection and what types of knitters we have here at a yarn story, because that's the thing too, like all yarn shops have a different, have different knitters, right? Like we're actually sitting in front of our least shopped section. Because this is the lace weight section, like in the cubbies behind us. And lace weight on its own, like we aren't lace knitters here in the shop.
No, not really. And I feel like we don't actually get a lot of customers through the door too either.
Well, exactly.
That are like, it's not just that like us in the shop aren't lace knitters.
No, but I mean, as a shop, like we don't have customers. And I know other shops who they do lots of like boo knits, beautiful lace shawls, or they're, they constantly have customers who are doing like a Shetland wedding shawl. And we just don't get those kind of customers. And so we talked a lot about what kind of customer we have and what they would be interested in making.
Oh, and somebody rightly pointed out, and crocheters, don't forget about us.
No, we don't forget about the crocheters. We do have a lot more knitters.
We do have a lot of knitters, and I think partly, especially too on the podcast, which we are conscious of and like try to do better at, is that Carmen and I don't know how to crochet.
I can barely crochet.
I can do a chain. I crochet a chain.
I mean, I can make a granny square, and I have made 3 legs of a tough animal, but I can't read the pattern and I can't read the stitches on it. I mean, it's a totally different skill set, right?
They're magicians, crocheters.
Yes, but Amanda crochets.
Yes, she does, and she's very good at like knowing what patterns to recommend, and she kind of teaches us as well.
And Susan actually crochets a bit as well. She made that bucket hat.
Oh yes, she did. That was
last
super
summer,
cute.
Summer before.
Cool.
So yes, back to the collection. So we had sort of like some concept meetings. And then Erica went away and swatched and played with, like, we sent her, one skein of every color so she could just really see the palette and start playing with stuff. And then they came back with, I think, 13 or 14 sort of general design concepts. Some of it had been swatched out a little bit, and some of it was more sketches. And then we like sort of 5 to 6 pieces is where we thought we would end up. Any bigger than that, and it's too big of a collection, really. So it's funny too, because there were patterns or the designs in there that I think they were surprised I chose.
Oh, really?
And then some other things that I loved, but we left behind for one reason or another.
That's really interesting.
And I will get the sketches out at some point to like sort of show people, because it is a really interesting process, and I'm not a designer.
Right.
And Erica is
the designer,
right? Like she has a massive fashion background. She's a fine art background, but she's been in ready to wear. She's done fashion forecasting, trend forecasting stuff. She's been a hand knitwear designer for a long time. So she has this breadth of experience that I don't have. And it was really amazing to see that come out. And then, so we narrowed it down to 6 patterns, and then talked about like a few adjustments here or there, and then they got knitting, and then we kind of didn't see stuff for a while either, right? Because that's not our part of it,
right? Yeah.
And then
magic happened,
basically.
I like honestly didn't know what to expect at all. Like I had no idea. Like I was just like, I'm sure it will be amazing.
Yeah.
But this is not what I expected. And I am like, also too, I like never would have thought in my head, like, especially the colors that she put together, that those would even like go together.
Yeah.
And like tell also a cohesive story across them. So you guys did an amazing job there.
I mean, I am astounded by the colors she put together. I knew, we'll show them all off in a second, but the theater wrap, she had swatched up, and that was probably the piece where I was like, oh, do we pick this one?
Yeah.
Do we pick this one? Like that fabric is so cool, but I don't know if that's going to hit right with people. Like that felt like the most, like the riskiest of the patterns. But the fabric swatch was so amazing. And I just thought, I'm going to trust in that swatch right there. And then this that you're wearing, which is called
Stand Up.
Yeah, Date Debrief. We'll talk about the names in a little bit as well. This was a bit different in the original concept as well. And there were a couple of versions of this. There was a cardigan version as well that we were looking at, and this turned out like way better than I could have imagined.
No, I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I like literally everybody is going to be fighting for this sample in particular.
And like it's everyone except for me.
But yeah, it's definitely like everybody is obsessed with it. And also too, I'm obsessed with like the swatches that Amanda came up with it too. Yeah, like there are so many cool like colors to play with this design in particular. And even the other day I stopped in to like pick up my yarn to like get casting on, and it was Carmen, Beverly, and I were here in the shop, and we were like playing with color and like trying to figure out what we wanted to do. And there's just a lot to like, there's like enough to think about, but also enough to not think about, that you feel like you're having a lot of creativity and fun playing with those colors and seeing how they like line up together, and seeing like this works here and this works there, or maybe I'd change it around this way, or you know, I like these two colors and so I want those two, but it's maybe clashing with this other one. But also the way that she's laid it out, it's like you can have actually two colors that maybe don't work together. Like, I don't know, like I would never do the waffle stitch maybe in the high desert and the fireweed, or
I'd never put fireweed and high desert together.
But then like the way that she's balanced it with everything else, it's really well done.
It's a mastery in color theory, really, definitely. Because even when you lay the skeins next to each other, it's like the proportionality of the colors and what is dominant and what is not, and that's what makes them work. I'm going to answer this question really quickly about stock of Pacific. Kathy, I'm really sorry. We are sold out of Pacific.
I know. We're all like devastated about it, to be honest.
There might be a stockist out there who still has some skeins.
Robin, maybe?
I don't know.
Because we've been recommending Robin to check with, so I feel like...
Yeah, I know Laylee doesn't have any. So yeah, unfortunately Pacific is sold out, and like summer is going to be the earliest that we have it. Unfortunately.
Yeah, we do love it, but apparently everybody loves it.
Yes.
And
well, and it unfortunately, basically when we reordered yarn last time, there was plenty of Pacific
and a lot of other ones that we didn't.
So we didn't reorder it. And then suddenly in the time period between like the reorder and it arriving, Pacific was suddenly like the favorite color. Yeah. And we had very little of it. So this stuff happens. Yeah. And we're just not a big enough business to be like, okay, I'll just order that one color.
Yeah. But I mean, it's actually really interesting to talk about even that kind of stuff, because I feel like especially like if you're a knitter who like maybe has an LYS that you go to, but they don't necessarily have like a yarn attached to it or something. You don't necessarily get how yarn production works. At least I didn't at all until I met you and was talking like to you about what projects you were doing. And it's really interesting, the whole industry. Like we need to do a podcast. I mean, you've been doing some podcasts on that.
But I think that'll take us on
a big tangent
for hours if we talk about that. So we will, let's talk about about like the actual patterns in the collection. So it's called the Signature Collection. There are 5 patterns in it. I like to think of it as a colorful capsule collection because there is a pattern for every part of your life in it. And we seem to be getting patterns or questions about the one I'm wearing. Yes.
Yeah, I love this one on you.
Yeah. So I am wearing Long Weekend. I'll stand up. I'm too tall for the camera. So it is a balloon sleeve.
I love it.
I can't, it's all reversed.
Yeah, we've got like a camera right now where it's showing me on this side and Carmen on that side.
Yeah, and we're not
on that side.
And then this seam right here is just the most clever thing because it's what's keeping this whole thing from being a sack. So I am wearing
interesting.
I'm wearing the size 5. I do have an extra long sleeve on it because
you have extra long
I'm 6'1", if you didn't know that, almost 6'2", really long arms. So yeah, I did calculate this. I have 17 centimeters of positive ease on this. It's recommended, I think, between 17 and 21 centimeters of positive ease. The model that we had modeling this, when she showed up, had a smaller bust than the measurements.
Oh, really?
That were given to us. So it does look, in all the photographs, like Melita looks gorgeous in it, but she's wearing it with quite a bit more ease than the pattern suggests. And I do think that's a little bit deceptive.
But you did a very smart thing by getting all of us to try them on.
Yes, it did. So there are photos of like the whole team in them as well that we'll be showing off a bit more. We haven't shown that a ton, but I have them here. So this design is top down. So you start here at the neck, and it's all knit in one piece with this drop shoulder and these like clever, cute, like a ribbing stitch there. And then it's just got like a really fast decrease to the balloon sleeve. And so all the sample sizes are a size 3. Let's see, there's a specific question here about when you get to discussing, I'm a 38.5-inch chest, which is a bit larger than 36, 38 inch. I think I'll be okay with a 36, 38.
So tennis actually too.
Yeah.
Is that your full, well, you can tell us, is that your full bust or your upper bust?
Yeah.
Because I am a 36 upper bust and I think I'm a 38 full bust. I think that's what I am.
I only know in centimeters.
Yes. But so would be good with,
I mean, I guess the question is like, do you
full bust? Okay, yeah, 5'9", long arms.
Like, how much ease do you want in it? So, I like this is the right ease for me. I think I go bigger and I look like I'm wearing a tent because I have quite a full bust, right? It isn't a cropped sweater, but it is like that's my high hip, sort of, where that ends. So I wouldn't go to a size 6. I was at I'm at the bottom end of the ease that it suggests. So I also I could have gone to the size 6.
So kind of like the way that it fits you, you're on the like lower end of the ease. Okay, yeah.
That's my personal preference. So if you like the way this fits me, then I would suggest going with the one that gives you just the smaller amount of ease.
Yeah. That's what I would do too, actually. I'm also not somebody who, I actually do like the oversized look. I just feel like every time I knit something oversized, I don't like how it looks on me. But I also think that maybe I haven't figured out the right sizing, because one where I like really gave in to just following the instructions and not like overthinking it, I actually do really like that one on me. So I feel like I like second guess it. And I always go for like the smaller version, and then I'm like, oh, maybe I should have gone for the like what they actually recommend. And so I would say that as advice is like go for the one that is actually recommended, because they've put more thought into it than I have.
Well, and I think that's the thing too. Like I also love the oversized look. I often find it doesn't work on me, or at least in like ready to wear stuff. And I am sometimes nervous about knitting it because the ready to wear doesn't look great. But I think this is an example of like, this fits exactly how it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And therefore it looks great.
Yeah.
Because it's all about fit.
And I think that's the thing too, is like, I think it's important that you also noted that like it hits you where it hits you.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you look at the models where it hits her, it's much longer
Yes.
because of the measurements being a bit different. And so I think that's like a really good tip of like, if you personally are the kind of person who wears and likes the way it looks, where it hits you, you know, top of your hip or slightly cropped or a bit longer. Like, so my mom and I are actually the opposite. I like mine slightly cropped. She likes it a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But that's what we feel like flatters us, independent of what our bust measurement is.
Yes.
Because they're actually a similar bust measurement, but we have different tastes and different like bodies.
Yes.
So so
and
you know,
that's the thing too, right? Is like the proportionality of it all is what really matters to in fit. So it's not just like, this works too on me because it's not longer. Like if it was longer, it wouldn't look as right.
Yeah.
So you like finding the proportions for you and your body is key to making something fit really well and look amazing.
The nice thing about Erica's patterns though in general, so like this is moving on to like some of the other pieces in the collection, is that like Erica's been in this business for ever,
a long time.
And she knows so much knowledge about what fits well. And so one of the things that we thought maybe people wouldn't be a big fan of is the fact that a lot of these patterns you have to seam.
This is the only unseamed pattern in the collection.
But there is so much that goes on with seaming that gives you such a nice fit that it's so important to the garment and how it's going to fit you in the end. And so we know, like, yes, lots of people don't like seaming, but also a lot of people don't like seaming because they haven't had the time to practice it.
Yes.
And so you could take this as an opportunity to practice it.
And I mean, well, let's talk about the one you're wearing. So Kaylee has Date Debrief on, which is named as such because I just picture wearing this to like brunch with my mates on Sunday morning, talking about, you know, the week's gossip or like the date that was had. And this is seamed.
Yep.
Susan was like, can I just knit in the round? I was like, I mean, if you want to like rework the whole pattern and like be my guest, but I think the seams matter on this because it's slip stitch, which does mean these panels, it's not a heavy sweater, but the panels are going to be substantial and the seams keep it. The thing about seams is they keep the garment together and looking crisp and looking smart.
And this does look so tailored. That's why it looks like good on everybody.
Yes.
I mean, especially too, like this neckline.
Yeah, and the seam up here.
Shoulder.
That's very clever. The way she's done that. Actually, we should have photographed this. The decreases on the inner arm
beautiful.
Are absolutely
Look at
stunning.
I don't know if you can see that, but like, so you probably can't because that's how stunning it is. Like that's the like decreases there.
Yeah.
And they are just like beautiful.
It's really clever. So this is knit in 4 pieces. So front, back, and 2 sleeves. It is 5 colors. And we're all in love with this very surprising colorway that Erica put together.
Yep.
However, we know that 1, we're going to run out of yarn if everybody knits it in that color, to be quite frank. And 2, everybody has different taste. So this is where our leather basket of, our hide and hammer basket of swatches comes in. So Amanda has been a swatching fiend.
Yeah. Giving us lots of inspo.
Yeah. So we've put several color combos together for this because I know, like, I wouldn't be able to pick that out online. Personally, I would be terrible at that.
Well, I mean, even that's why I came down to the shop on Tuesday when we technically weren't open, and I was like, I don't care, I'm coming in.
I mean, you do work here.
I do work here. But I was like, I need to get my yarn and I need to put it together, and I can't do this online.
Yeah. So this is one of the swatches. So we have these as kits on the website, and you can read all the colors and whatnot. What's interesting about like this colorway, and this is where color theory is so interesting. there is no teal in this, but it reads quite teal.
Yeah, especially up here, right?
Yeah.
Like that green reads quite teal.
But it's the Ponderosa. It's like as green can be.
Yeah, definitely. And it's even like, also too, like when they flip it, right? That green doesn't look the same Ponderosa in my head.
Yeah.
Like I have a big sweater in Ponderosa.
Yes, you do.
And
that is not
that doesn't what it looks like.
So yeah, we've got several colorways.
I love this one.
I thought you might.
Sorry.
No, you can jump ahead. You show that one off. That's fine.
This is a very Kaylee color.
Yeah. So that's got like oranges. I think the thing when we've been making all of this.
Also too, that salmon doesn't look like salmon.
No, it doesn't look like salmon. Wait, I'm gonna make you stand up again.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, because I'm gonna use you. So this sweater uses more navy blue than any other color. But
you
can't tell that.
Yeah.
So it is all about the balancing of stuff. So there's navy blue in this section, there's navy blue in this section, there's navy blue here, and there's navy blue there. So it actually is a navy blue sweater.
But it doesn't read.
But it doesn't read that way.
It's so funny when you sent the patterns for like proofing.
Yeah.
I was like, no, Carmen's wrong on these colors. Those aren't the colors in that.
Yeah.
I was like, there is no Wild River in this sweater.
Yeah. No, there absolutely is. And so this one, basically the navy blue is replaced by the lighthouse. So it reads quite light.
But it doesn't look like a white sweater.
No, but it really like brightens it. So whatever color you choose for the main color, so navy blue in your case, white here it's actually the Ponderosa. So this is a green sweater, technically. Again, this has white throughout. This has sort of a more fresh spring feel.
I love that one too.
This one's really nice. Yeah. I think this is like absolutely beautiful. And then there's this one, which is all the brights.
That is such an Amanda.
It's so Amanda.
Such an Amanda sweater.
I actually do love this one.
I do love it too. It's so playful.
I don't know. I am a little bit debating. I haven't chosen my colors for this one yet, but this is a purple sweater. Like the wild lilac that is there, and there.
That's one that repeats.
Is the most used color, but it doesn't look like a lilac sweater.
Yeah, it's so cool.
This one I actually think this is the swatch that made me realize this. So this is a moodier version, a little muddy, and this uses more gray than anything else.
That's so cool.
But does it look gray at all?
Is that so? That is the sea lion then. Yeah.
So this has Cascade Sunset.
That is such a cool
juniper, sea lion, beaver's den, and then that is actually high desert.
It reads so much. It's so funny. Look at that.
It reads more like salmon.
Yeah. And also to actually no, that's not high desert. That is
there is no high desert.
Yeah, there's. Oh my goodness gracious!
I know, right?
The yarn I forced Carmen to make is not in my favorite swatch.
It is in the one you're wearing.
Yeah, it is in the one I'm wearing. Yeah.
So yeah, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colorways that we have kitted up and like thoughtfully picked out for you. And they're on the website to help you. But if you want to choose your own colors, then think about, the balance. There's basically 2 darks, 2 mediums, and 1 light color in here. And your main color is used in the most panels, but it doesn't necessarily, it's kind of like the background. It's like the
main color.
It's like the canvas on which you put all the other colors.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I'm going to look at that.
Cool.
And yes, let's see if we've missed questions. Rachel from work is there. Hi, Rachel.
Kathy had to dip out.
Yep. That was
good. I think we're caught up.
I think we're caught up. Great. Perfect.
Yes. I mean, this is such a fun collection. I mean, I was saying, Carmen, actually, before we signed on, that I have been like wanting basically the wild lilac in her color. Mm-hmm. This sweater in the wild lilac.
Yeah.
And I'm actually tempted to make it in a combo of origin and fluff.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it would be a different gauge, obviously, so I'd have to play around with that, and it would be warmer. Yes. And I'm not sure, like, the UK gets cold enough for that, but
there is that. I have to say, so I've been wearing this. We've had a cold week, but not a super cold week, and I have worn this like 3 days this week, and I found it very comfortable.
Yeah,
it's not too warm.
Yeah,
because the
origin isn't too warm to wear. I think, like on its own. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The entire collection is on a 5mm needle. Mm-hmm. Which is nice.
You need one needle for this whole thing.
One needle for the whole thing. Cuffs are done on 4.5, but otherwise, and I really like origin on a 5mm.
Yeah,
that's sort of my sweet spot.
Yep. I love origin on 5.
Okay, which one do we want to do next? Do you want to do one of the wraps?
Oh, I do.
Also, I'm going to steal the.
Yes, I know. I'm going to end up drinking it all by myself.
Kaylee's stealing it.
I'm filling up my glass and being really rude. I want to talk about this one.
Yeah,
because I am obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And this basically I'm actually kind of sad I didn't pick this one yet. So basically we had to pick one to start with.
I told the team they all have to knit something from the collection.
And I was between this and this isn't Long Weekend. What is this one?
That's a Walk in the Park. Oh, yeah. So this is Theater Wrap.
And then there is a Walk in the Park, which is the shawl.
Yeah.
So it was between these two. And basically I ended up on this one. I don't know why. I think it was just like we picked out colors and then I was like, yes, I want to do that. But so this is the Theater Wrap, and it's really cool construction because it's like shawl jacket, a jacket.
It's a poncho
shawl jacket thing.
It's
basically this like screams to me like, I am going to theater.
Right.
I'm quite distinguished.
That is why I gave it that name, because I was just like, I just imagine some elegant version of myself.
But then
to the theater.
But then at the same time, I'm going to the theater, but then tomorrow I'm going back to my estate in the Berkshires and I'm putting on my boots.
My riding boots.
I'm putting on my riding boots and I'm going to walk in the countryside and
I'm going to cozy up by my fire.
Get on my horse and go for the hunt.
A blanket,
It's like the coziest thing
in the world. It's amazing.
You can live out all of your like British manor house lifestyle dreams.
I can totally see it up at Mellerby.
Yeah.
That's what I wear to breakfast in the morning, just over my pajamas.
Yeah.
And the thing is, so this is the one that I really feel like we took the risk on.
Yeah.
Because I thought, okay, our poncho's in. Like, there have been a couple times in the 10 years here where ponchos have been very in and everybody's knit a poncho. And I was like, they're not really in at the moment. Are we coming back around to it? And also, this isn't a typical poncho. And will this stay on someone's shoulders? Because it's just freaking open over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no seam. But it does stay on your shoulders.
It does. It's really cozy.
It doesn't feel like it's going to slip off. And it's just... The other thing... So it looks like tartan, right?
Yeah.
But what's happening here is she has made it look like tartan. You have moss stripes in various sort of widths, and there are 2 vertical lines of stitching that you put in at the end.
Just 2.
And that is what makes it look like tartan. It's absolute magic.
It's beautiful. I know, and I'm like obsessed with it.
My mind is blown.
I mean, I think maybe part of the reason I didn't pick this one was because I just want this one. And I was like, I can't just make the same color, which we can.
Yeah, I mean, yes, you can. In fairness, this is the only pattern we haven't come up with another colorway for yet.
Ooh, maybe I'll do that. I'll play with some colors on that.
We ran out of time a little bit. We will come up with some colorways, but it's just such perfection.
It is.
It's amazing.
Because I said to Carmen, I was like, I think I want like a kind of black watchy kind of tartan on mine. Mm-hmm. And then I was like thinking about it and I was like, okay, that's pretty much this except for the pull.
Yeah.
So I was like back to the drawing board, and maybe I could put out like switch around these colors, but I know I would definitely want the Wild River, the spruce and juniper in it.
Yeah.
And charcoal. Not charcoal, sorry, that's the opus, the beaver's den.
Yeah. So yeah, this is theater wrap. It does come in 3 sizes. So this is size 1.
Oh, really? I didn't realize it was in sizes.
It does come in 3 sizes.
Love it.
But all 3 sizes take the same amount of yarn, and you can play with it. So it's knit in 7 panel pieces. So they're just rectangles of moss stitch, essentially, that you then seam together. So you can make them sort of as wide as whatever as you would like. And yeah,
it's so cute.
It's so cozy.
I loved it on Susan. So we have quite a lot of pictures of Susan in it. And I mean, we also took a lot of these photos in her house.
It fit her
so
house
I was kind of like, yeah, you just need that, Susan, to like live in.
It's so funny because you and I have basically the same image in our head of like where I'm wearing this and who's wearing.
Yeah. I really actually think my grandma needs to make this because she gives theater wrap diva vibes.
Oh, I like it.
I wonder if I actually told my grandma that we were doing this, so she might be on there.
Hi.
Potentially.
If you're here, hello, make this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is theater wrap. So that's 3 down. We got 2 to go. Should we do the shawl?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So, oh, you have one too. Oh, yes. Wait, where did that come from? Is that the one that was there? Surprise second shawl. I thought I had the only one. So, this is a walk in the park, which I love that name. And is it inspired by your walk in the park?
If I'm doing a collection that is like inspired by my everyday life, like obviously something has to do with. I almost called it like the dog walking shawl.
Or Henrietta Park.
That's not as elegant. So,
and we all love this. Like literally everybody's.
This is the front runner currently.
Yeah.
As far as patterns go, it seems.
But like, sorry, I want to move it that way. I feel like.
So it's 5 colors and 5 stitch
quite
patterns.
big, actually. It doesn't look that big when you have it around your neck.
No. And for being a worsted weight, it's not overly thick and cumbersome.
Well, the thing with the origin too is it's really, I don't want to say bouncy.
It is
bouncy?
Yeah,
okay.
It's bouncy.
Yeah, it's quite a bouncy yarn.
So this is the original colorway. It uses fireweed, beaver's den, lighthouse, ponderosa, and dune grass. And then Susan was like, I'm going to make that. I'm going to make it by launch day. So here is Susan's version.
Susan is the overachiever.
Yeah, she is.
It really is both amazing and annoying.
Yes, it is. Susan was wearing this in the shop today.
Yeah.
Actually, I got here to the shop and I was like, why are you still here? She goes, I was not going to have you guys make fun of me because my ends weren't woven in.
So she was sitting here
weaving in her ends.
Please, I would have made fun of her. You would not. You don't weave in ends. On
only
shawls.
Visible ones.
On shawls.
Visible ones. Yeah. So this is using dune grass, fireweed, beaver's den, wild river, and salmon. So actually there's only like 2 colors switched out.
That's so funny.
Isn't that madness?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
So
I mean, that's that light and dark though again, right?
Yeah. So there's actually 2 colors difference in this. But the way they're used makes for a completely different look. We do have swatches of this one. So this one is a kit.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the greatest photo at the moment, but I did take better photos earlier today, so they will go up. And then, here you go.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, nice.
Yes, so a couple of these are like shaped swatches, and then
again, more overachievers at a yarn story.
Oh, Amanda.
Yes. Not me. I'm still working on my test knits that were due 3 weeks ago.
You are an overachiever, just in other ways.
It's just in other ways. I try to overachieve in too many things these days.
That's a whole other episode too. Yeah, so this is kind of Kaylee vibes.
It is very Kaylee vibes. I love this one actually.
And then Amanda stopped doing shaped ones, and these are just rectangular ones.
Fair enough.
This is a very Amanda. Again, we've got like Cascade Sunset, Juniper, Marigold, Hippie Heart.
Cute.
And then here. Yeah. This one.
I love that one too.
This one's great. Yeah. This has like spring vibes, I think.
Yeah.
Fireweed, Ponderosa, Wild Lilac, and Grape Blossom.
And then we have, is that Hippie Heart? No, that's Petunia.
Yeah.
Petunia, Cascade Sunset, Lighthouse, Salmon.
Is that Cascade Sunset? It is.
It is. That's why I was double checking.
Yeah.
Salmon and Ponderosa.
Yeah. So as you can see, there's just a bunch of different looks you can make for the shawl. And again, we have kits for all 6 of these colorways.
It's really interesting. This collection has made me really like Fireweed. And I feel like that's one of Fireweed? I feel like I was about to say, I feel like that's something that you say that is like a backhanded compliment.
It is a backhanded. It's one of my favorite colors.
I know. Well, I remember when you got the you originally did Origin, and you brought the swatches to the pub, and we were naming them.
Oh yes.
And I was like, oh, it's Barney. And you were like, no, we're not naming it Barney.
Yeah, wasn't that Wild Lilac that you wanted to name Barney?
No, was it
Fireweed?
It was Fireweed. But Barney is technically darker than that.
Also, Barney is not from Oregon, is he?
I also love Barney. Like, my mom can tell you how much I loved Barney as a kid.
See, I think I'm a bit old for Barney.
Yeah.
He was a little after
my
time.
It was like very much my generation. I think it was like only like me and like 2 years before and 2 years after kind of thing.
Yeah, I think even my sister wasn't really into Barney.
Yeah.
She's 3 years younger than me. So.
Yeah, my brother wasn't really that into Barney, and he was 4 years older than me. So
yeah, see? So.
Yeah. Okay. It was just me.
Just you.
Just me.
You and Barney.
Me and Barney have our own fan club. But that's what it was really giving me, Barney vibes. And I wasn't sure I was like ready for the Barney vibes, but this collection has proved that Barney is in again.
As is the beautiful flower Fireweed that it's actually named after.
Which is such a cool color too.
Well, it's also a really cool plant.
Yeah.
So Fireweed pops up after a forest fire. It's one of the first vegetation to come back.
That's cool.
And Oregon is unfortunately quite prone to forest fires because there's a lot of forest there.
Yep.
So yeah.
Okay. What do we have left?
Last one.
Yep.
So this is the one I think Beverly thought I was nuts when I said that's my favorite in the collection, like from the swatches.
Really?
She's like, really? I was like, I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
And so Erica really wanted to do something intarsia. She's like, I think intarsia is coming back. I think it's going to be the technique of the next few years. And I was like, are we sure? I don't know. I'm going to. You, Erica, are the expert.
Yeah.
And then weirdly, she said that. And a few weeks earlier, I had been watching, I can't actually remember if it was the Eras tour on Disney Plus or if it was some other tour of Taylor Swift.
Oh, yes. I think I remember that.
Anyways, there is a number in one of them where the dancers are wearing a black and white sort of checked thing. And one of the dancers has on a cropped, oversized houndstooth sweater. And I paused the TV. I was like, that sweater needs to be in my life, basically. And then I went Googling and I did like reverse image searches to try and find a photo of this and what the sweater, I mean, obviously it's like custom made for the tour, right? And it's sparkly. I don't need to sparkle it. But Erica was talking, sort of had this swatch of this oversized intarsia. And I was like, funny. And I showed her the photo and she was like, yeah, we didn't end up incorporating houndstooth. But that is sort of how this came to be. And this is the head turner. Yeah. So it's called Date Night.
I love it. I do actually really like this. And it's like I've said at the beginning of this, like I was really surprised by a lot of these patterns, and that I would even like I didn't think I would like them.
Yes.
Like, not because I had that thought ever, but more just like if you told me about them before seeing them, I would be like,
if I described to you, well, it's a 7-color intarsia
I'd
with
like,
about 12 different shapes on the front, and then a whole checkerboard back.
What's going on here?
I'd be like, did the 80s call?
Yeah.
Do they want their intarsia back?
Yeah.
But I just think this is so beautifully executed.
Mm-hmm.
It balances the colors perfectly. It has all these fun shapes. I'm obsessed with
haven't even thought about how many shapes are on this.
Yeah.
It is really cool. It reads really well too when photographed. Yeah. This is the one I posted earlier today of me in. Yeah. Which I really liked.
And the back and the sleeves are just the checkerboard kind of design.
So really well balanced.
Yeah. And what's really clever and sort of what we've learned as we have been putting kits together and swatching for this one is it's very hard to do without the white.
Sorry.
We actually haven't come up with a version that doesn't use the white.
Okay.
And my favorite ones are, so she's basically used all of our pinks, oranges in here. So it's like all the warm tones, and then put like a couple pops in with
I love that she's thought it down to this.
Yeah.
Like, that's my favorite bit of the sweater right there.
Yeah.
Like, what? Who would think, like,
there's one on the back here.
Like, I need to balance this sweater so well that I've got like literally 2 stitches of one color.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah. So this sweater is truly amazing. It is knit in panels from the bottom up. It has this cable panel down the front, and we are falling in love with intarsia again. I am. This is my first knit.
Yeah,
of the collection.
I think that'd be great.
So excited about it. Oh, because I didn't knit this, by the way. One of the sample knitters did.
Movie magic.
I
do really love that one, and it's like, you know, intarsia's been a thing for a long time, right? Like, it's not like a new technique or anything like that. But honestly, if I thought in my head, like, oh, I want to knit or I want to try to learn intarsia, the first thing I would think is I need to go and download one of Sylvie's patterns.
Oh, yes.
Or Sylvia's patterns.
Sylvia
and like, that's my intarsia queen right there.
Yes.
And so it's really good to see, I think, like, what this has shown is like, you know, we like people can do intarsia, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think you know, the intarsia of the 80s too. When I first started the shop, a lot of people came in who had been Patricia Roberts fans.
Okay.
So Patricia Roberts is a British knitwear designer who also had a shop of like ready to wear in London. And she did really big intarsia things with like mohair parrots and things. And intarsia has like my sort of what I think of is some sort of storytelling.
Yeah.
Right? There's like the Thomas the Train, or there's some scenery, or there's an animal.
Yeah. Right.
It's kind of almost like slightly cartoony.
Yeah, like it's like the thing also too, like some of the like knitwear more artists that I see use a lot of intarsia, and like Sylvia's are very like she's an artist.
Yes.
And like they're telling a picture, a story.
Yeah,
very visual.
You can use it to paint a picture.
Right.
It's a technique for that.
Yeah.
But this isn't that.
No.
And I just love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
Yeah. I've only done intarsia once before.
I know, I've never done it, which is why I haven't picked that as like the one I'm doing now, because I'm like, this is going to take me way too freaking long.
No, I'm doing it. I'm all in. I might finish the other intarsia sweater. I've done the intarsia, actually. It's the sleeve. I haven't.
Oh, cool.
It's the Bolt sweater by, I have now, oh my God, what's her name? Oh, her name has escaped me. She's also a British designer. And she has the knitting and gin pins. We like sell her patterns in the shop. I've blanked on it.
Yeah. No, you've thrown me.
I have used the same concept.
Is this your swatch? No, this is an Amanda swatch. Sorry. I was like, wow, Carmen's so organized. I haven't even
since when. I picked my colors. So I took the same concept as that one, and I used all of our like blues and then threw in a couple of pops.
Yeah, I love it.
And the gray. So I'm going to have a pretty like bluey, purpley sweater, which I'm very excited about. Very me.
Love it.
This is Amanda's, which if you know Amanda, no one is surprised by.
Yeah.
She absolutely loves green and purple together, and she loves bright oranges and such.
Yeah, I know that's going to be really pretty. That's very Amanda.
It is very Amanda. This was her first swatch that she did. You'll see the swatches get smaller as she kept going.
This is quite cool, actually. I quite like that.
Yeah,
blend.
That one's very nice. So yeah, this is.
I actually really like it with the. Sorry, no, it's like I'm looking at it and I'm thinking that's my.
Oh yeah,
that hand.
Yeah.
I really like the cable actually in the wild lilac.
Yeah.
That's quite fun.
I actually don't know off the top of my head which one my cable is going to be anymore on this.
Are these all the swatches that we have?
These are, so we have four colorways in this at the moment. I think there is another one on the way. Allison has already chosen.
Oh, nice.
Colors.
Oh, I want to see Allison's colors.
They are
She's crazy.
These.
Yes. Love.
She is.
She does not like give a shit, basically.
No,
she's like I love these colors and this is gonna work, and it always works for us.
Yeah. It's absolutely beautiful, but it is bright.
Yeah, I wouldn't have like expected anything else.
Yeah, she was here a couple weekends ago, and so I let her pick out colors already while she was in the store. So yeah, there are kits. If you see something you like, great, kits are on the website. If you're like kind of but not really, you can email us. You can come into the store. We are doing virtual shopping appointments with Susan. Yeah, Susan is now our official virtual shopper.
Yes, I saw that actually on the website the other day.
Yeah, so you can shop with Susan.
Yeah,
and just have a lot of fun picking colors.
The virtual shopping too, I want to make a plug here for it. And you might not think like, oh, is that really going to like be useful enough to be able to do it? I can tell you now, it's like a million times more useful than you probably think it will be. Because at the end of almost every call that I've ever done, well, actually every call I've ever done on virtual shopping, nobody's been like, nope, I'm not doing that. Like this is a waste of time.
I don't think we've ever had a return.
No, we haven't. And so it's like
shopping.
You get so much more information than what you would be doing over email or online. We can just do so much more for you live than we can like taking pictures and sending them to you.
And emailing back and forth and whatnot.
So. But we also get that like people are time for a lot of the time. So like if the email option works for you, we'll make it work for you.
Yeah, we absolutely will. But and even if you just want some sort of advice on how to balance the colors, we can do that for you because we have now been having a big old play.
Yeah. It's like our favorite thing to do too. So like
my trick for this one at the moment is all 7 colors are across that first.
Oh yeah,
stripe.
That's good.
And that's the easiest place to see all of them together.
Like lined up, yeah.
Because if you start looking at the front here, it's a little bit harder.
Yeah, and I think like actually another one probably to clue into is this color.
Yeah.
Of being one that sits back or like doesn't pop out as much.
Yeah, but it makes all the other colors pop out.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's navy in mine.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
yeah, because I think that could be a really interesting one to play with.
Yeah, and I think
these 2 colors, obviously, like you want them to not clash.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways you could go with this. You could make it more colors. You could make it less colors. That is entirely up to you.
Also, too, I am all for people like breaking rules.
Yes.
So we say all this, but
yeah, Amanda's gonna make hers a cardigan.
Yeah. Oh, that seems
she wants.
Well, I was so when we were taking photos, Amanda's gonna be like, when we were taking photos, Amanda being Amanda was like, really love this, but like I could do this and I could do that. And I'm like, Amanda, it's not your design.
Yes, Amanda's also a knitwear designer. And I think the thing about knitwear designers is they can't just leave anything alone.
They can't like knit someone else's stuff.
But she wants to take the cable panel and make that basically the cardigan button band.
I could see that.
Which is going to be very cool.
Yeah.
So lots of options.
Yeah.
We're so excited about the collection. We're going to be showing it off lots. If you're coming to Unravel in Farnham here in the UK, in a couple of weeks, we will have the collection there. We'll have all the yarn there.
If you're coming to the retreat,
if you're coming to the Bath retreat,
we will meet Erica.
Get to meet Erica. She's going to teach a class on the collection. Amanda's teaching intarsia at the retreat. And you'll be in the shop helping people pick colors.
Yep. I'm actually off work that week. I'm helping everybody.
Well,
off
of your other
my
job.
other job. Sorry, I'm off of my other job and on my other job. It's so funny.
The fun job.
Everybody at work, every time I like mention my other job, they're like, "Who are you?" Like, what is this life that you live?
It was a little bit of that conversation we were having the other day about like, we don't know if it's a cultural thing, but like when I was a teenager, like you could ask me to do anything for like $5.
Yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
you need babysitting, you need your lawn mowed, you need I don't know, your cans driven to like the recycle center. Like, okay.
Yeah, I'll do that. And we were like trying to have this like chat too about like, is it a generational thing? Is it a cultural thing? Like, why can't we find kids to do stuff for us?
I don't really remember what it was I needed done. But I was like, why do I
not know some 18-year-olds who will do this?
Yeah, like why don't I know anyone who just wants like $20?
Yeah.
Or like a pizza bot for them.
Right.
Like
exactly.
I also wouldn't have done pretty much anything for a pizza.
Right, exactly. And I do think it might be a distinctly American thing, but also I don't know enough like under 18s to know like British under 18s at this point to know like what the vibes are. Yeah.
But like, this is the same thing with like you having a second job, right?
Right.
Like there aren't really a lot of people here who are like, oh, well, I do this other thing because I really like it.
Yeah. Especially too, people are like, it's so funny. Anytime I come in with knitwear at work, they're like, did you knit that? Every time I'm like, I'm not going to wear something I didn't knit at this point. I don't own things I didn't knit.
What is ready to wear knitwear?
So stop asking me.
Yeah.
Anywho.
All right. Well, I think that's, I haven't seen any more questions come in.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, there is actually one.
Oh, is there?
Yep. So for the upcoming cowl, can we knit any of the patterns in the collection?
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. Any of the patterns in the collection. Our cowls are really fun too. That is totally not biased at all.
They're fun.
And they're always really helpful. We run them in a similar way that you actually run the retreats. Where they're very chill. Everybody can contribute, ask questions, teach each other.
Yes.
We're always there to like be your point of contact and like answer the questions if nobody else has them. Or to tell you, we actually don't know the answer to that. And we're going to take it away and come back to you.
So the whole team is participating in the cowl. So you will have like the entire team, including Amanda.
Yeah.
Who really is,
who hasn't had a question.
Our MVP.
Who she hasn't been able to answer, right?
No, that's true.
Although I feel like there was one maybe in the last cowl that she had to take away.
Yeah, but she always comes back with an answer.
Yeah.
Because she also likes to figure it out.
Yeah,
so if someone stumps her, she's like, that's it. I'm going to be an expert in this now.
And then she'll design a sweater for it.
Yeah, basically. And so Amanda and I know are doing the intarsia. Susan's finished the shawl, so I think she's going to do this. Okay. I think Beverly is going to do this.
And then I'm doing the shawl. I really kind of... do I do the theater wrap? Oh, I don't know.
See, anyway. I don't think anyone's done the long weekend because we have 3 samples.
Yeah, we do. So we're like, we all have one already.
Yeah. So it's not that no one wants to knit it. It's that we have 3 samples that fit the team. So they feel like, well, I could just steal that.
Yeah, definitely. That's how I feel about most of our samples.
Well, they fit you. So.
Like literally, there's this one design that Amanda did, and I'm pretty sure it lived with me for like 3 years. I stole it like the first day.
Is that back now?
It is.
Oh, okay.
It is back. It's in the shop.
Okay.
Yeah, it's back.
The perks of working in a yarn shop.
I know.
And not being 6'2".
Yeah. But before me, it was Anna's sweater.
Yes.
So I stole it from Anna.
Yes. Well, and when Anna left, one of her like going away gifts was one of the sweaters she used to steal all the time because it was yarn we didn't have anymore, or like had been discontinued. So I was like,
well, technically, no, actually, it isn't yarn that's discontinued anymore, is it?
It's Opus.
Yeah, it is Opus. I was gonna say Storm Cloud, pre-Storm Cloud.
Yeah,
but we have
that.
Yeah.
All right. Before we ramble on all evening,
exactly.
Thank you so much for joining us for this YouTube live. Also, we'd love to have feedback if you enjoyed this. I mean, I loved that we got some questions.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fantastic. I know it was also a bit of short notice. We could probably.
Yeah, like literally, Carmen said to me yesterday, like we had always planned to film today, but
you said to me.
I said to you, this is my idea. And I was like, well, what if we did it as a live rather than recording? Because then we can like celebrate it on camera with everybody.
Yeah, which was a really good idea.
Yeah. So we are always happy to do more of these, I find.
Yeah, I mean, they're a little bit less effort. The uploading of the videos for editing is actually what kills me at the moment.
Yeah, I know. Like Google Drive does not like things.
Also, my Wi-Fi at home.
Yeah.
So,
anywho, yes, this is like literally an episode that we could have recorded and then we ramble on for ages.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us and for celebrating this collection with us.
Yeah, and do reach out if you have questions about it, and maybe we'll see you on the Cal.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.